Hello, I have a special treat today. Got Timothy P. Flynn here with a brand new book that's not even out yet. So this is like very breaking poetry news. Um, Welcome, Timothy. It's so good to
Thank
have you
you.
here.
Thank you.
Um,
It's good to see you.
yeah, tell me about yourself.
I live in Massachusetts. I'm a dark poet. I've been writing now for a couple of years. And I won the HWA 2021 Dark Poetry Scholarship. So that was really awesome. And that actually kind of got me going so I could buy books and write more.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And that's actually where I first, I mean, we didn't meet, of course, because it's just a
Mhm.
scholarship thing. And,
Yeah.
it's all just in a board, I guess. But that's actually where I first came across your name is I was on that committee. And I
Mhm.
remember lots of, I don't want to say too much, but like we were all very impressed with your application.
Oh,
So
great. Great.
this,
Great.
yeah, I was very happy to see when you got it. So.
Yes. Yes. I was excited as well.
Yeah, oh, I could
Yes.
imagine, I can imagine, and
Yeah.
that's, like, super, I don't know, encouraging to hear, like, that it really helped because sometimes you wonder,
Yes.
if you don't know what happened
Yeah.
afterwards, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that was scholarship money well paid.
Yes. Yes. I hope so in the future as well. So.
Yeah, well, I think it's paying off right now because I have had a
Yes.
look at this book that you have coming out, very soon, and this is all really, really good poetry. I mean,
Thank
I'm
you.
very impressed with it. These are primarily previously published poems, I've
Yes.
noticed, in a
Hmm.
variety of places. So, what kind of made you decide that you wanted to do this book and do like a sampler?
I wanted to just put a collection together for people to like to be able to read my work and everything in one single spot because I had a lot of various places and anthologies, things like that. So I just wanted to kind of put them all together to give a little sample of what I can do, and so people can read it. And I'm going to be working on my actual first full-length collection, and that should hopefully be coming out within like a year or so.
Oh,
So
awesome. Awesome. Well, I look forward to that.
yes,
I think this is a great idea that you're doing this because it is like our calling cards as
yes,
writers and poets, to have some kind of collection of, things that people can so that they don't have to jump around to because you've got like 7 or 8 different publications in here that
yes,
these poems came from. It's nice to
hmm
have them together.
yes, yes, it was, yes.
Oh, awesome. Well, I have heard that we're going to get a little bit of reading out of you today, which is fantastic.
Yes, yes, it'll be my first.
Oh, awesome. Well, I'm super proud right now
Yeah.
and
Be
honored.
kind to me.
You know what? I'm very familiar with your poetry at this point.
Mhm.
You've earned the kindness. So
Thank you.
it is
Thank you very
justified
much.
kindness. But
Thank you
I
very
want to
much.
ask one of my favorite poems.
Mhm.
There's many favorites, but I love Embrace the Madness because madness
Yes,
is just such
yes,
a great thing to entertain because we're all
yes.
partially mad or we
Mhm.
wouldn't be poets, right?
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And you did a beautiful job reading it on your podcast,
Oh, thank
Cake and
you.
Hyperbole.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
that was awesome.
That's right. Yeah, thank you. I actually was like, I feel like I've read this before. Yes, I
Yeah,
have.
yes,
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 very
yes.
much. If it would be okay, I'd love to hear you read it because I know you're going
Hmm.
to do a better job. But
Yeah.
also just a little bit about the poem itself, like what inspired you. What was this moment that created this poem?
Uh, Actually, the funny story on how this poem was created was during the actual pandemic. Um, my wife actually is insanely crazy with the sanitizing and the rituals and everything, which I've never had COVID, so God bless her soul. She did an
It's
absolute
working.
job taking care of her family, yes, and everything. But just it got to the point it was just like almost psychotic in how it was done and everything. So I just thought to myself, like, what if somebody like went to the extreme side of trying to prevent themselves from getting, it doesn't have to be COVID, it could be anything,
Yeah,
and still get it no matter what they did.
yeah.
So that's kind of the origin of where that came from.
Wow, which kind of sums up 2020 in a way, huh? In
Pretty
2021.
much, yes, yes, it does.
So awesome.
So
Well, I would love to hear you read it.
okay, all right. Embrace the madness. Darkness clutches you, archaic nightmares that fester within. It whispers to embrace the black black plague madness that provokes violent orgasm-like spasms, constricting and stinging like a tattoo gun needle throughout your body, a response to the visceral reality of pandemic life. Itchy black threads secure the bloody sutures in your lips, sewn tight behind the mask that cuts into your tender earlobes. Just enough room for a disaffected straw, but your feverish brain leaks green juice from a nose struggling for breath, as frostbite tears trail down your scorched cheeks as you fight against the chills that threaten to snap the vertebrae of your brittle spine. The infection found you, the bleach-burnt, raw, ragged flesh of your hands, insane sanitizing rituals only invited the insatiable hunger of disease. Death scratches at your lungs, raking nails reverberating through your ribcage, as stillborn thoughts wait incessantly for panic-driven breathing to slow, to crawl, and to cease forever.
I like it.
Thank you.
I love you have such a, I don't want to say a guttural style, but it's a very raw, like this is reality. You know,
Yeah.
it's in your face. Just all the sensations, all the smells, you know, is in there. I think that's fantastic.
Thank you. Cool.
Well, how about you? What are like that's one of my favorites out of the whole collection. What is one of your favorites of this collection?
Honestly, one of my favorites, I do like one of the poems that I had written in the HWA showcase. I think it was the first one actually the second one, I'm sorry, that I ever got published. It was in volume 6. It was called Philosophobia. I don't
have it
even
right
know
here.
I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, but where that came about was during a mentoring session with Stephanie Wojtowicz. She wanted me to write a fear poem. And I'm deathly afraid of like the oceans, and it's not water I'm afraid of; it's what lurks within the water. So this is the result of that fear.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to hear you read it, and also glad that I don't have to try to pronounce that title.
Yes, I believe it's Thalassophobia, I believe is what it is. I
Yeah.
Googled it, saw it, and I just wrote it. So I didn't really look for the pronunciation.
Yeah. I'm going to say you're probably accurate because I don't know.
Yes. All right, Thalassophobia. I have no love for the infinite cold sea. Its harmonious waves attempted to seduce me. The ebbing of the tide echoes a siren melody like a sea-barren succubus mesmerizing its prey. Thousands of unblinking, malevolent eyes peer from the darkened abyss. The salty water spiraling flakes of my flesh downward into mouths eager for a taste. My skin crawls, icy shudders piercing deep into the marrow at my uncertain fate. Creatures monstrous to micro, bearing razor teeth, crustacean claws eager to slice, slimy tentacles that slither up to touch flesh, stinging like an abusive lover's embrace. Some feel liberated in these waters. The compressed weight of life erodes in the saltine mist of the open sea. But for me, it's an ocean of dread, an incarnate world of monsters lurking below in the depths and shadows. Some places should not be explored.
Wow. I have to tell you, I have a little bit of a reluctance with water, and that was like giving me shivers, like,
Yes.
So, and for the same reason, it's not the water, it's the things
it's
in the
what's in the
water.
water. Yes.
Yeah, because we know it's there. And
Oh, yes.
saltine mist, that is so descriptive of like so much. Like you nailed it.
Thank you.
Awesome. And I just accidentally minimized. I'm like, wait, where'd my poems go? How about I don't know if you want to talk about this or not, but I know you're working on a collection.
Yes.
And I'm super excited about this. And
Yes.
what I don't want you to reveal too much that you don't want to reveal.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to kind of say it's really cool what you're coming up with in the
Yes.
very near future. So I invite you to kind of say what you would like to say about it. No pressure for spoilers.
Okay. Well, I did write the first poem, and that's what generated the whole collection, actually. And it's basically going to be about, I didn't even actually know it was going to come to fruition in this way, but it's basically about an apartment building, and it is housed by monsters. And there's various monsters in each of these apartments, and each of them have stories to tell. And that's about how it came up. The first poem that is actually in that collection that generated it is called Where Monsters Lay Their Heads to Rest. And that can just kind of give you a taste of what's to come.
Yeah. I am very excited to see this
Yes.
collection. As somebody who's gotten to see a little bit of the samples of it, this is
Yep.
going to be really good. And I feel like a really unique and interesting concept too. Like it's not an overdone, but I love the story idea, the linking of the poetry into one multifaceted story. This is going to be fantastic.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
So,
Thank you very much.
well, the $1,000,000 question is, when about do you think that will be ready? Like, are you planning for that next year or?
I am planning for that next year. Yes.
Okay.
I'm hoping for probably a spring summer release.
Okay.
So.
All right, fantastic. That'll be something that we can all look forward to.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not going to ask you to read this one necessarily because it's long, but I wanted to ask you about a rhythmic creation of the damned, because that's
yes. That's
different from all the rest of them.
Yes, that is the longest work. That is actually my version of a prose poem, and then at the end of it is a couplet, almost like sonnet version of the poem at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
This was originally published in Wicked Tales from the New England Horror Writers Association, their anthologies. And I actually had it differently in the published version. In between the paragraphs, there were couplets.
Mm-hmm.
And I revised the prose in this and then put the whole poem at the end.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I see that.
So it's a little bit of a redesign from anyone who actually read it, the original version. So it's a little bit different than it was. But pretty much the way this came up, I can't even believe they bought it because I was so experimental when I wrote this.
Yeah.
I didn't think that anyone would buy something broken up like that with prose and poetry all connected into each other. So I'm very appreciative of Scott, Dan, and I believe I forget the other editor at the time, but the New England Horror Writers, obviously great.
Awesome. Well, I like it. I love what you've done with it, but experimentation, that's kind of in my mind what poetry is all about.
Yes,
you know, we have our forms so that we can break them.
Yes, exactly.
After we learn how to do them.
Yes.
So, well, I'm glad we got to cover that one a little bit, because it's kind of doesn't stick out like that, but it has got like a little spotlight on it because it's so unique compared to some of the rest of them.
Yes. And that one's a little dear to my heart because that one actually has to do with that delved deep into my alcoholism. And as of right now, this year, I'm going to be 14 years sober.
Oh, awesome!
So that is, yes, I'm very pleased and happy with the way that my life turned out. But back in the day, I was not in a very good way. So this is like my reflection of my comparison of vampires to alcoholics.
I like that. And congratulations on the sobriety.
Thank you very much.
I'm not going to say I'm glad you went through that time, but it sure paid off in poetry, right? Because you've got
Yes,
the dark stuff to dip into.
Yes. I couldn't do it when I was drunk, but I did great afterwards.
Yeah, when we're drunk, we all think we're fantastic poets, but
yeah. Doesn't work out that way.
No. Well, how about, I think we've got time for one more reading. And My Awakening is unique to this collection, right? This has never been published before?
Yes, this is new work that actually is going into this collection.
Okay. So. Is that one that you'd be willing to read for us and share?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like there's a really good story behind this one too. Just guessing.
Yeah. My Awakening. My internal flame of desire snuffed out years ago, lounging in this cage. These cryptic iron bars, my home, never fully realizing the fucking cage door was never locked. Why bleed for a world that doesn't even know you exist? My purgatory, a self-inflicted curse, a horrid torture I felt I was deserved for my crimes. My strength is the monstrous me. Fuck your heavy chains and your magic pills. It's about damn time this my burnt flesh of shame sheds and the real me screams back at this shit of a world.
Awesome. And
A
that
little bit
just sums up so much.
yes.
I
A
think
little bit
that
of
we all
cussing in that
feel.
one.
Yeah, I caught
Uh,
that. But this is we're adults. this is
yes.
this is not
Yes.
Disney. Am I even allowed to say the word Disney?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
And the
fantastic.
origin of that poem actually was funny because that was actually I was listening to Five Finger Death Punch on my way to do Instacart. So that was where the origination of that came from.
I can see that connection.
Yes.
I've never done Instacart, but I can see how this kind of poem could
Yes.
be
Yeah.
inspired by that.
On your way to work, and this is what you think.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, when can we expect this collection and where can we expect this collection?
I'm gonna be selling this probably directly through Amazon. It's gonna be a ebook sampler through them, and you'll be able to find it obviously on Amazon. I'm gonna probably be promoting it on my social channels, my Twitter, Instagram. I don't really go on Facebook that much anymore, but and then also I'm
Understandable.
trying. Yes, exactly. And I'm trying to update. I know it's been a long time, but I'm trying to update my WordPress.com site. It'd be timothypflynn dot wordpress.com.
Okay.
So hopefully I'll have a link there when it comes out to be able to purchase it there as well.
Okay, fantastic.
So
And I'll come back whenever this is posted. If you're watching it right now, look in the descriptions because I'll come back and edit those links in here so everybody can find them real easy.
awesome. Great.
So,
Great.
well, congratulations on the sobriety. Congratulations
Yes.
on a great collection. I'm super excited
Thank
well, I have read this, but to see this
you.
come out and get born into the Amazon world.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about this future chapbook. So,
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
Thank you very much.
yeah. Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. And yeah,
Oh,
like I said, if you're looking for these books, they will be linked by the time you're watching this in this description, hopefully, or soon. So check back.
yeah.
So, all
Thank you
right.
very much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.